Hello, this is my video presentation about my Java application. Note my. It used to be our, but my other group member left last week, and so it's just me. But I digress. This job application will feature SDG 13 and it will demonstrate how to reduce carbon emissions. Well, not necessarily reduce carbon emissions, but just let people know about it. But before I get into that, I would like to describe my data set. This data set is 43 by 23 and describes the 43 most common foods in the world, as well as their carbon emissions, their emissions in carbon, their land uses, animal feed, retail, and as well as eutrophication. But for the sake of brevity, we will narrow this data set into 40 by 3. By 3, and let me just demonstrate what that looks like. So this is my narrow data set. As you can see, it's only 3 columns, and excluding the first row, which is just here to like describe things, it's 40 by 3. There's product ID, there's product, and then there's carbon dioxide emissions per kilogram. So for instance, let's say I want product ID number 3. That would be barley beer. And 1 kilogram of barley beer would produce 1.1 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Also note the backslashes to separate the columns. This will be a little important later on. But anyways, this is my main. My main is basically just a regular while true switch statement. Let me do a demonstration of that. As you can see, we have a set of choices. You can check list of products, we can buy products, we can check the cart, and then we can just exit the function. But all of that will be demonstrated later. For now, I would like to bring your attention to my first module, the reading the products list. This is important as it incorporates this class over here. But before I get there, it's simple enough. I convert this txt file into an array list using the backslashes here as a delimiter. Then, for each column, I correlate it to an object in the products class, ID, name, and CO2 emissions. Note that ID is in string formats. This will come in handy later. But regardless, let's put in number 1. So as you can see here, all 40 entries are included. I ignored the first line since that's basic enough. It's more a label than anything. Also, if I were to include a label here, it would mess with the later methods, which I will now demonstrate. For the second case, or method, or module, or whatever, this allows products to be added into a cart. This is done with 2 new classes, cart item and cart. But before I get into cart item, I would first like to introduce cart. This cart is a new array list. And this new array list holds all the cart items here and holds them here. So for example, suppose I want number 2. Which ID do I want? For instance, let's say I want product ID number 28. Oh, as for this part, I'll explain it later. And so, if we look to the txt file, check the product ID, number 28, it's wine. That's very good. And so, if we now continue, how many kilograms of wine do I want? Let's say I want 3 kilograms. 3 kilograms of wine have been entered into the cart. Now this will be a while true loop, and will just continue and continue until the user says stop, which in this case is the keyword done. Oh no. Which in this case is the keyword done. And this will exit case number 2. But now I revolve back into my cart. Check number 3. This is displayed here, by the way. We have products, we have quantities, and the total emissions this will get into have. Check it. Your cart contents have 3 kilograms of wine. And now if we refer back to number 28, you will pick the TXT file, you will notice that it's 1.4 kilograms of carbon dioxide emitted per 1 kilogram of whatever product it is. 1.4 times 3, 4.2. This is done like this. Cart item is basically an associative entity. Products, as described here, and quantity. We also get the item's total emissions by multiplying the quantity by the product's carbon dioxide emissions over here. All these will be then entered into the cart, as explained here, this public void add item. The new array list will then add the cart item, product, and quantity as an entry. Let me demonstrate that once more with a new product. Let's put in number 12 as for an instance. Oh, again, I forgot to explain my binary search. Sorry about that. So for my binary search, it's simple enough. You enter a product ID, we go to the middle and just keep splitting half, 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 half until we find what we want. And if you look to the TXT file again, number 12, it's groundnuts. I want 5 kilograms of groundnuts. 5 kilograms of groundnuts have been added. All right. Now let's see what happens when I put an ID that's not on the list. As you can see, the product ID has not been found, even if the binary search still works as intended. Let's exit the function now and check the cart again. 12 kilograms of groundnuts and wine from before. Very nice, very nice. These are our second and our third module. The methods I have just described are my second and third methods, respectively. Modules, actually. As for case number 4, it's fairly simple, so I wouldn't necessarily call it a module. But this is these are just words of encouragement. CE green. Once the user feels like they have finished, we enter number 4 and exit. The system will put in the total number of carbon emissions that have been entered into the cart and add them all up. If they are within a certain threshold, the system congratulates them. Otherwise, they'll let them know. So, for example, let me demonstrate this. Let's say I want some beef meat. Oh no, whoops. Sorry about that. I put in the wrong area. Let's say I want some beef meat. We found some beef meat. I want 2 kilograms of this. We can check the cart to make sure that's been entered. And we find, yes it has. And then once I exit it, oh, whoops, sorry about that. 119.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Try eating greener next time. It's just the words of encouragement. But as you can see, the prototype has lots of potential. Because I use binary search, the TXT file can be however long as the supermarket wants it to be. I could have 20 entries. I could have 100. I could have 2,000. It's just, it has to follow this admittedly strict format. Additionally, you could put in a loyalty system. Users could gain points from this, be rewarded with like free products, merchandise, coupons, etc. All of this ultimately serves as motivation for users to go green, eat plant-based foods, go eat less animal-based foods. Which is very important as the world's population grows, our carbon emissions increase, global warming, risk, so on and so forth. Oh, and here, if you want to look at my flowcharts. Sorry about this. This is just a simple UML here that describes my class relationships. As mentioned before, cart item is basically an associative between products and cart. And it takes a lot of variables from both. And here is my flowchart. All right. And thus concludes my demonstration. I hope that you have found this demonstration useful, and I hope you may understand why it's just me. Even if my other group member's name may still be on the camp system. It's been a week since he left, and it's been nothing but misery for me. Thanks anyways.